You ready? Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Not Everybody Needs a Podcast with your host, Mackenzie Rencher. Today, I have a little guest. Hi, Beckham.
Hi.
This was not planned or expected, but listen, when you have kids, sometimes they just want to hang out with you, and who am I to tell her that she can't hang out? What are you eating?
What are you eating?
Are
I ate a bar.
You're eating a bar. Okay. What have you done today? What did you do today? Did you mix something with Dad?
Egg.
You mixed an egg with Dad. That's so special. What did you put inside of your eggs? Did you put paprika?
No.
Did you put salt?
No.
Did you put pepper?
No.
Last night, did you go to see all your friends? Where'd you go?
I couldn't gas.
Wow, this is really ASMR with the whole bar in the mouth. We're going to go ahead and end this interview here. I do love this guest so much, but yeah, you can clap for yourself. You amaze me, B. You're amazing. I love you so much. Go hang out with Dada, okay? Say bye.
Bye.
I love you. Well, guys, there you have it. Oh, her new thing is I don't like that. And she really wants to hang out. But I don't know how well this would go. I think I'd be a little bit too distracted throughout this entire episode. You guys, she is getting so big. This morning, she was just watching me do my makeup. And I feel like we're getting to the point where we like really are just hanging. Like she's like, I want to put pink on my cheek. And just watching the way that she watches me is so special and honestly puts me in check. Whenever you start to realize that your kids are watching everything that you're doing, it really makes you think a little bit. And on Monday, we are going to start swim lessons together. And honestly, I don't know if it's advice. I need y'all's opinion on the whole swim lesson situation because they told me on the phone call, just wear what you would wear to the beach. And I literally was like, listen, kings and queens, if you think I'm showing up to my daughter's swim lesson like how I would to the beach, you're just so sadly mistaken. Because what I'm not about to do is show up on a Monday night to a swim lesson with my cheeks out. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's not appropriate. And I just don't see myself with my toddler popping up with like my bikini. It's just not happening. So what did I do? I ordered a long sleeve t-shirt, a wet t-shirt on, or what do you even call it? Wet t-shirt's definitely not the word, but I ordered a like waterproof, whatever t-shirt, bikini t-shirt. You guys tell me the words because I don't know, whatever. It's for swimming and it's long sleeve. And I got some shorts as well because here's the thing. I know. Thank you, honey. You're so sweet. Say bye-bye. Love you. If you guys are watching, she's refusing to leave. So that's perfect. I love you, baby. Yeah, mommy's sitting down. Okay. I love you, baby. Have fun with Dada.
You want to say anything else into the mic?
Want to say anything else?
Yeah.
What?
Bye, Mommy.
Bye, baby. You're my angel girl, and I love you so big. Anyway, guys, sorry about that little cute interruption. She just had to join for the first little beginning section. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I just do not foresee myself showing up in what I would wear to the beach. And I also know how, like, other people think, and I'm just like, I don't really want to show up with these other moms and dads at the swim lesson and have them being like, this girl don't need to be showing up like this. And I don't see it in my future. And I was at a baby shower last weekend and I was like trying to tell them, because there was a lot of moms there, and I was trying to tell them like the vibes, and they were like, no, you totally should just wear what you normally would wear. And I said, guys, I just know my limits, and that's a boundary that I'm going to have with not only myself, but this here swim lesson, that I can't do it. I really can't. This week was a little weird for me. I'm not going to lie. I think I've just felt a little down, which is natural sometimes. And I don't even think really other people would notice, but I just have not been posting as much. I have posted really almost every single day, 2 times a day most of the time for the last 2 years, especially on TikTok. And then I also post on like Instagram, and I do YouTube videos twice a week. And I think honestly, I've just hit a wall where I came to the realization that it became an idol to me, and I would make all these excuses of why I wasn't spending time reading, why I wasn't taking care of myself, why I wasn't spending time with God, whatever it was. And it really was boiling down to the fact that I spent way too much time on social media. Even though it is my job, I have to have boundaries. And I think I'm not complaining about my job whatsoever. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I can't think of one other job that I would love doing more than this. But at the same time, there's not another job I feel like that just has zero boundaries, and that when you work for yourself, you have to create those boundaries for yourself. And I just have not done that because I want to be successful. And at the end of the day, I just have to make time for things that make me healthy, and I have not been doing that. And I think I just hit a wall where I felt like it is something big. I don't think I really like who I'm becoming, and that feels very vulnerable to share. And yeah, so I just felt like I just wanted to take a step back and really remember what's important and start setting a little bit of boundaries, whether that's at night, I stop working at 10, or I get off my phone at 10, or maybe I set a time limit on my screen time or whatever. If you guys are out there and you guys have good boundaries with your screen time or work or whatever, drop some suggestions, because I read every comment that you guys write, and I'm always down for suggestions. And I just want to be the best version of myself. I want to be the best mom that I can be, and I just want to be present. I want to be the best friend I can be, wife, whatever. And I just feel like not having boundaries in this area of my life, and really just having an idol of, I don't know, maybe I'll probably talk more about this on the other side of it, but because I'm walking through it, it's kind of hard to tell you exactly what I think it is. I mean, I think it's an idol of success. I think it's an idol of, I don't know, wanting to be relevant, or an idol of thinking that if I don't post every single day, I'm gonna fail or whatever. I think it just boils down to like, God is not the most important thing to me. I think success is, or social media, because I can say with my words that God is the most important thing in my life, but when you look at where I spend my time, that is just not it. And I'm not saying that, spending time with God is every single day I sit down and I read my Bible and I worship for 30 minutes or whatever. I don't think it's this box, but I do think it's solitude with the Lord. And I'm spending more time on the internet, far more time working and on the internet than I am working to be the healthiest version of myself. And it's taking a toll. It's taking a toll on my mental health. And really, if you follow Jesus and you decide that he is going to be your everything, which that's what it means when you follow Jesus, you are putting him first in everything that you do, you're eventually going to hit a wall where it's a decision that you have to make actively to either make him your everything or not. So for me right now, that just means, is social media my everything? Is work my everything? Or is God? So that's just what I'm having to sit and think about, because like I was saying, if you are a follower of Jesus, you will eventually hit a wall where he's going to ask you, am I your everything or am I not? And I think I'm having to face that right now. So, normally I don't really like dig into like super deep things about my faith on this podcast. It's not on purpose. I think I don't label it as a Christian podcast because I'm just living my life and I am a Christian. So naturally, I mean, we talk about God in pretty much every single episode, but I don't ever make like topics necessarily about it. But of course, if I'm giving advice, that's always going to be at the forefront of my mind. But I just wanted to talk about that honestly, because that's what's going on in my life. And I mean, maybe eventually people will start to realize that I'm a little bit more distant and I'm just posting a lot less, and that's your answer. I don't know how long it will be for. I don't know if I'll ever get back to posting as much as I was. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated as I navigate through life. On this topic though, I feel like the last week, all I have seen on my feed is the Avery Woods situation. And I was talking with my nail tech yesterday, and she just asked me what my thoughts were about it. And it got me thinking, and I was like, I really should talk about this on the podcast. But if you guys live under a rock, or if you're just like not on this side of the internet, there is a content creator whose name is Avery Woods. She's signed to the Unwell Network with Alex Cooper. And on a podcast, she just said some vulgar things about God and about, I don't even know if I really want to hit on it that much, just because, one, I don't want to be a gossip, and two, I don't want to talk about those kind of things on my podcast. But you guys can look it up if you're that curious, which I'm sure you will if you're curious enough. But I think that as somebody that has a podcast, you do have to be very careful. I mean, really, just in general, you have to be careful about the things that you say and the things that you joke about. I think that she really is sorry, and I think if she could go back, she would not have made that joke. And overall, I think that her point was that the people that have Bible verses in their bios and the people that claim to love God are the people that are the most hateful to her. And I think people's response to this whole situation has proven her right, if anything. And it makes me sad that I think so many people are coming on and being hateful towards her when that was kind of her whole point. Do I think the joke was right? No, I don't. I don't think making those kind of jokes about any religion to me is not okay. Even though I am a Christian, I would never say anything about like the Islamic faith or whatever. I just wouldn't. I don't find it respectful or necessary. But I think honestly she has learned that lesson in all of this. And I also think that if you are a Christian, let's just try not to prove her point right. Because I think making these videos when people are being hateful towards her and this and being like, oh, well, I'm just gonna whatever, like talk bad about her or make a video about her being hateful, I think you're proving her point. And I think there is a difference between, if you don't want to follow somebody that speaks that way, I think she gave you full permission. And I don't follow her, and I've heard her say this multiple times on my like For You page and stuff. Like, if you don't like the jokes she makes, if you don't like the person that she is, like, you can unfollow her. I don't think there's any problem with that. If you don't like the joke she made, unfollow her. But there's a difference between that and having to go out of your way to be like hateful about the whole situation. And I just don't think it's necessary. I think we should just be nicer, and I think she learned her lesson. And I'm not saying don't hold people accountable by any means, but I also feel like if you're not a Christian, you can't be holding people to the standard of being a Christian, honestly. And again, not saying you can't have your opinions about it. I have my opinions about it. Do I think it's appropriate? No. But at the same time, I think that there's a way to, I don't know, address that without having to like make a whole video about it and be hateful. Like, we can still be loving towards her. And I have seen like a little bit of comments like that are loving, but for the most part, y'all be wildin'. So let's just like chill, honestly, and just try to be nicer on the internet. I made a TikTok a few days ago. I think right now it's at like 1.2 million views. So I figured I would talk about it on here because it seems like a lot of people agree. But I basically was just getting into the fact that our world is so over-sexualized that it's scary. It's getting to the point where, and I know I was going to say it's an unpopular opinion, but there's like thousands of comments that do agree with me. So, I mean, maybe it's not a popular opinion. I just am saying the quiet part out loud. But I think I am getting to the point where I'm like sick of it. I can't watch a TV show without unnecessary scenes in it that do not give to the plot whatsoever. There's so many movies that I've had to turn off because I'm like, this has nothing to do with the plot. You just want to throw in this random sex scene because it's like keeps people's attention and because you know that America is addicted to it. And I'm like watching what I say with words on here, but I think you can kind of catch my vibe that America, not even America, I mean, really the world is so addicted to that they just throw it in our face at all times. And I think I'm just sick of being expected to be desensitized to things. And really what brought this up for me, I have this thought a lot and I get like tired of it a lot, but I was at a birthday party the other night and we had a playlist going, just a normal like party playlist. And it was this huge TV screen and they were playing music videos on it. Every time I looked over, y'all, the things on that screen just being played in front of dozens of people and no one's even batting an eye because it's put in front of our face consistently. It's in our music, it's in our podcasts, it's in our TVs, it's in our movies, it's everywhere. And again, I think some people won't agree with this and that's totally fine. And some people don't, that are listening to this, don't have a relationship with God. And so they don't really understand the perspective of like it being God's daughter and God's son. If you don't agree with that, like, you know, I'm not here to try to force anything on you or anything like that. I think I just like, the point that I made at the end of the podcast, or sorry, of my TikTok that I made was just because something is normalized doesn't mean that we have to think it's normal. And I think I just want to make a bigger stance on like turning things off or just not being desensitized to things, like not being desensitized to songs just because a song is playing on the radio and it's saying crazy things. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people just agreed with it because they're tired of it being shoved in our face 24/7. I think it ruins relationships. It ruins intimacy. It is toxic. It's unhealthy. And we're constantly exposed to it. So I just feel like we just have just been used to it. And I think it's good to like raise awareness is like so dramatic. I think it's good to just like talk about it and talk about how we don't have to think things are normal. And people were just like bringing up like Instagram reels and stuff and how things have just gotten like truly crazy. And I don't know, I think I disagree. And I think a lot of people do agree. Of course, I had like dozens of comments of people being like, get over it. Like we're old enough, whatever. And I'm just like, I mean, okay, if that's what we want to do, then that's fine. You can find it quite literally anywhere. But I just think it being shoved in our face 24/7 is just kind of crazy. And I'm just over it. Truly. Speaking of Instagram reels, I genuinely have to talk about this because, again, I don't talk about politics either, really. I just like to keep myself like lighthearted and I just like to be fun and funny and whatever. You guys, when I saw the ASMR deportation video on the White House Instagram page, when I say my jaw dropped, I don't follow it. And so I did not like see it on my page or whatever, but I had friends sharing it and being like, what is happening? I cannot believe that is coming from the people that are leading our country. Because why are they making memes about deporting people? Why did they make a violets are, or roses are red, violets are blue deporting meme? Are we okay? Do we not realize that these are like real people with real lives and they're making a joke out of it? Not only that, but they're also ASMR video showing the handcuffs and putting these people, they're real people on planes and treating them like they're animals. That's all I'm going to say. I had to touch on it though, because that is like the number one thing I thought about, like with what's going on in the world right now. I have just seen things come across my page. And when I say I'm scared, I'm scared. Again, I'm not making any like political stance. I think you guys know where I stand with that. I don't know. I'm scared and I just truly can't. Well, again, this episode is going to be a little bit shorter because I usually do my episodes with Darian, but I just decided to record with myself today. And so I honestly this seems like a little bit deeper of an episode, and I hope you guys are hanging in there because it's not always going to be that way. But, you know, some weeks it's going to be just a little bit deeper because I'm going through deeper things. And yeah, I want to do Mackenzie's Mindset. You guys still send me in your Mackenzie's Mindsets because I love reading them. I love answering them. I'm going to try to get to all of them. And yeah, let's get into it. Mackenzie's Mindset, if you guys do not know, I answer y'all's DMs and you guys send me scenarios or questions that you may have. And I just give you guys my mindset on them. So let's get into the first one. Hi, Mackenzie. I love your content. Hi, girly. Love you. I want to send a Mackenzie's Mindset question. I'm 33 and my boyfriend is 34. We've been dating for 2 years and I'm eager for next steps like marriage and kids, especially since my biological clock is ticking. Recently, we've had conversations on timelines. He is in the process of a career change and trying to improve his credit and financials and told me within 2 years, which he said he could be before then, but no more than 2 years. To me, this is really long, especially since I'm older. So we came to a compromise of getting married within 2 years, but engaged within a year to find some middle ground. I don't want to pressure or nag, but I get anxious about my fertility, etc. Thoughts. Girl, you got to trust the process. If you know for sure that this is the person that you want to marry, I mean, really 2 years is nothing. I understand the whole, like, as you get older, fertility can get a little bit more, a little harder. And I really don't know all the facts there, so I can't speak to that. But I think patience is beautiful. And I also think that you should just trust the process and trust that if you're meant to have a baby that you will, and that you can, what I like to say is, it's actually scripture, is there's enough worry in today. Let's just focus on today and let's not focus on tomorrow, because that's going to have its own worries. So just worry about today, which is like building a healthy relationship. And I think it's totally fine that you guys had the conversation of like, hey, let's not wait forever. I think that's great. And you should be having those open conversations. But yeah, I think just be patient and just focus on day to day and focus on the joy of the fact that you're about to get married. And you can worry about the rest later. And if you are going to be with this person forever, really a year to 2 years is not that long. And it feels long, but when I think about my daughter being 2, I feel like she was just born, and I feel like looking back it always feels that way. Like time just kind of floats by. So just be patient, and I believe that will happen for you the way it's supposed to. Let's get into the second Mackenzie's Mindset. My fiance and I got engaged this past August. Honestly, all of these are like relationship questions now that I think about it. Most of the time they're relationship, but sometimes they're ask me anything. It doesn't have to be a relationship question or whatever. You guys can, the DMs are open for whatever you guys want to say or ask. But anyway, my fiance and I got engaged this past August. We're looking to get married sometime in 2026. We talked before about doing a courthouse wedding because they're way cheaper. We hate having attention on us, and it just seems more our style. Recently, though, my friends and family have been swaying me into having an actual wedding. They said I'd regret not having one. Plus, I had always dreamed of trying on dresses with my friends and doing all the bridesmaids things. My fiance and I really don't have a lot of friends, so we said, okay, maybe we'll just not do the groomsmen and the bridesmaids. It'll make it a little cheaper. Wedding planning also sounds very stressful. I told my family I need help. They offered to help plan it. It's been almost 6 months since getting engaged and no one has helped. I also have family drama with my dad. Don't we all? My parents are recently divorced and everyone on my mom's side can't stand him. So that's another stressful factor. I guess what I need advice on is, do I just go back to my original plan? Is having a wedding actually worth it? The stress, the cost? Do I tell everyone to suck it up and deal with each other? Okay, let me just answer the last question first. Yes, you tell everybody to suck it up and deal with each other. They can get over their issues and be selfless for a day so that you can have your day. Now, the beautiful thing about 2025 is that you can customize your wedding and your day and all of that to be whatever you want. My suggestion for you, it sounds like you want a mix of like a celebration with people and you also want it to be private. You saying you don't like attention on yourself and stuff like that. My little wedding plan that I would say that would be good for you, in my opinion, would be you still have bridesmaids, but you don't like make it a big deal and asking them. It's kind of just like your closest friends just know, especially because you said that you don't have a ton of close friends. I would say host a little brides brunch, and you can ask a few of them to plan it if that's something you'd be comfortable with, or you can plan it yourself, whichever way. Or maybe if your mom wants to plan it for you, whatever, and just invite your close people, and that could be your celebration leading up to the wedding day. And then same with him. If he wants to have like a separate celebration, he can do that. I don't really think boys do that. Like, it doesn't even have to be like a bachelor or a bachelorette. Like, just let it be just a little celebration. And it doesn't have to be this formal, let's ask or whatever. It can just be like, just so you feel celebrated and you kind of feel like you still had your, you know, your celebration leading up to you actually getting married. That would be my suggestion for you. And then on the actual quote unquote wedding day, I say you go to the courthouse, you guys get married and have your special little day. But I think you should still go pick out a dress with your friends. That really is a special, special thing. And it's something I'll remember forever. And it just made me feel really beautiful and made me feel excited to get married. And so I say you go try on dresses. You don't even have to buy one, honey. If you want to go get one at Goodwill after, go do that. They don't have to know. The people that you're picking your dress out with do not have to know that you're not actually planning on buying one. Just go try some on, see what you like, see your style, and then go order one online or go to the Goodwill and go pick one up. But having that with your friends would be really special. So go do that. Wear your dress on your special day, get a photographer, make it low key, and then have everyone go meet somewhere afterwards to celebrate you guys. So it doesn't have to be this formal wedding. Honestly, weddings, when you do it like your venue, you buy everyone's dinner, like all of that gets so expensive. And you can go and like invest in your future in that way. Go invest in a house, put down payment on a house for how expensive things can get. Like the cheapest wedding at this rate is like $50K if you want to do like a real wedding. So run far away from that. I don't regret it for me because it was always my dream, but to me, it doesn't sound like your dream. It sounds like other people's dream, and it's your day. So you can customize your wedding day to be whatever you want it to be. So that's my suggestion for you. And that way you can get like a little mix of everything. So yeah. You guys send in your Mackenzie's Mindsets. I am always looking at my DMs for them and I get excited to read them. I hope today's episode is something that you guys liked. I would love your feedback. And I think next week I'll go back to doing my normal scheduled programming. I think I might have some guests next week as well. I don't know. I don't want to get you guys excited. I want to do a guest like once a month or maybe once every other month because I do want it to mostly be us, but I think having guests on is fun, even if it's like my friends to talk about friendship or whatever. But I also just want to know who you guys want to see on. So say that as well. If you guys are following along on YouTube, we just hit 38,000 subscribers, which is crazy and so exciting. So subscribe if you have not. You guys can also follow along on Spotify and Apple if you guys just like to listen. And I will see you guys next Monday with another episode of Not Everybody Needs a Podcast. Bye.